In Marzano's book, The New Art and Science of Teaching, he gives several strategies to increase student engagement in chapter 7. So, one of the strategies to increase student engagement is using academic games in your classroom. This presentation will be specifically about how teachers can use academic games to increase student engagement. You can also access the presentation by scanning the QR code listed in the bottom corner. So why use academic games? According to the book, using academic games increases student attention and it maintains student engagement. A lot of times you see students who resemble the little boy in the picture and they're tired of worksheets or they're on the computer too much. So if you have a worksheet, you can do away with the worksheet and turn it into a fun activity for the students to complete. So, four of the games that I thought could apply for all grade levels include the following. The first game, questions into games, classroom feud, which one doesn't belong, and name that category. So, we'll look at all four of these games and how you can simply implement them into your classroom. The first one is questions into games. This is very low prep, and you can take any worksheet that you have and turn it into a game activity. And if you click the button here, when you access the presentation on your own, it'll give you a tracking sheet to keep up with points for the game. So with this game, the teacher will divide the students up into four equally sized groups. The teacher will ask the group, both groups, or all four groups, a question. The students will have time to discuss the answer for 1 minute. After the timer goes out, the students write their response on a response card or a dry erase board, and they hold it up when the teacher calls time. If the team has the correct answer, then the teacher will give them a tally point. The team with the most correct answers win. So very simple and easy to implement. The next game is called Classroom Feud. Also, I've linked a game template where you can quickly just add in your questions. And again, this is an easy prep game. It's very similar to Family Feud, but it's low prep. The teacher will divide the students into two teams. And then the biggest thing is to make sure there's a question for every student so that everybody has a turn. The students take turns being the responder. They have 15 seconds to answer the question. They can discuss it with their teammates if they need to, and they get 1 point for every correct answer. Next, we have the game, Which One Doesn't Belong? And this is a very simple game. It does take a little prep from the teacher. The teacher has to come up with word list, and within each list, there should be 3 terms that are similar and 1 term that is different. And the students have to identify which term is different, and then they have to explain why. So the teacher will display one list at a time, and I've listed some examples down at the bottom. This is a really good activity for any English, for grammar, for parts of speech, math terms, vocabulary. And so the teacher sets the timer and the students write down again which word doesn't belong and they must explain their answer. And there is, if you click the bottom right-hand corner, there is a Google Slide template that already has examples for you. Next, we have Name That Category. This is a fun game, very engaging for students. The teacher can create a game board, or you can simply draw it on the board, display it on the board, and the students divide into teams. The student gives clues. The student giving clues faces the board, and then the students who are guessing face the opposite direction. There is one student who is the clue giver, and they have to list words, and the students have to guess. So if I say heart or lungs, then you're trying to get the students to guess organs. So that's just an example. You can do this with various categories, and the teacher determines the point value. Also, in chapter 7, there are several activities for vocabulary. If you click right below, you can have access to a description of each game. But very simple, easy games. I will say that the vocabulary activities are really good for elementary age students. And that is the end. I hope that you can find a way to implement academic games in your classroom. Thank you.